I'm Edward Otto Zelke, and let's queer up drag culture. Worldwide celebrity mourning of Drag Race winner the Vivienne's death at 32. The LGBTQ community is mourning the loss of popular drag queen the Vivienne, who died at 32. The Vivienne, also known as James Lee Williams, passed away on Sunday, January 5th. The official statement read, quote, James was an incredibly loved, warm-hearted, and amazing person. Their family is heartbroken at the loss of their son, brother, and uncle. They are so proud of the wonderful things James achieved in their lifetime and career, end quote. The Vivienne was the winner of RuPaul's Drag Race UK and was an All-Star 7 legend. Celebrities like RuPaul, Michelle Visage, and dozens of RuPaul's Drag Race contestants expressed condolences to the family and loved ones of our star queen. Fans, drag artists, and celebrities have expressed shock and sorrow over this tragic news. Details of the cause of death have not yet been released. Well, it's kind of sad, obviously, but, we've had a lot of loss, I think, within the drag community. Even here locally, we've had a drag, and, like one of the previous stories, life can be so precious, and, you just never know. I've been a fan of RuPaul's Drag Race, and this really hit me hard because, this was somebody 32 years of age, that is such a young person that really had a gift and a lot to offer this world, and to just to be silenced, it's tragedy. But I'm hoping that the community will rally together and rise above it. I know that there's been some talk on social media from some other drag queens, and it's just been kind of ugly recently that I've been reading, but I don't want to bring any emphasis to that, but it's about how do we come together as a community
and
together.
Yeah, no.
32.
It's beyond sad, right? And everybody wants to give the family their grace and their time and understand that they want their privacy, right? And I know that when somebody is in the light, I think Josie can attest to that. Fans feel like you belong to us, right? Like, so we want to know what exactly happened. And unfortunately, my thoughts go to addiction, because I know that the Vivienne had some drug issues in the past. I hope that's not the case, right? But there's no reason why a healthy 32-year-old person dies. There just isn't, unless there's other means. And I hate to bring that up during a story that we're saying, because I'm sorry, first of all, because they were non-binary, okay? They were so talented, okay? Many drag queens can lip sync and can put together an outfit, right? The Vivienne, she sang, they acted, okay? They were in this incredible Wizard of Oz in the UK. They just were so talented. So a loss like that really hits us, especially when it comes to drag culture, because that's like our foundation when it comes to LGBTQ, right? So it really hit me hard when I saw that, and it's sad. It's sad. 32. I mean, I think I have a purse that's 32 years old. You know what I mean? Like,
ooh.
Really? I know I do.
Yeah, it was handed down to me, but it was beautiful.
Half my age. Can't imagine being cut off at 32.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sad, and we'll all be thinking about the Vivienne, all of the Vivienne's fans, and everyone else affected.
I think about the pressure on the person. Choosing that as their career comes with a lot to carry. And we lost Justin. I can't remember exactly how old he was from an embolism, but that was a life cut.
He was about the same age.
A medical situation.
Yeah.
But in this case, if it came about for other reasons, then, and everybody has to kind of guess because we don't know, it won't come out until later on. But the thing is I think about the person, and I think about the pressure that they have to live under to be able to do and excel and be the star that they were.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that comes with baggage.
You were talking to us before the show about watching the Golden Globes yesterday, right? A lot of us saw the Golden Globes yesterday, and how affected I was and how affected Jacqueline was over Demi Moore's speech, right? It was somebody that you think is so strong and has it all together and nothing can touch me. You're going to say something negative about me? F you. And Demi Moore was carrying around something about being less than and not enough for 40 years.
Yeah, it's just a horrible, horrible thing. But it's the truth, because that was her truth, and it came out, and you could tell that it was very sincere what you know what she had to say, and the fact that a person like that has been told that they are less than or cannot be. I can't accept that. Anything I've ever done were all things that I wasn't supposed to be able to do, and I did. And I don't listen to that. I don't tune it. But I mean, I tune it out. I was going to say, but in this case, it made me cry to hear her talk about that.
Yeah.
It really did.
Yeah, not everybody is as strong as you are, Jack. You know, it's not easy.
Well, I mean, I believe me, I wouldn't consider myself strong, but I would consider myself like I believe it's going to happen, and I make it happen. And that's really, there's no point in life where anybody gets to tell me something different. It just doesn't.
No one should ever burst someone else's bubble or go after someone else's dream and tell them it's not doable or it's not possible. Because that, to me, is like one of the worst things you can do. I was in a situation years ago where someone told me, sometimes my ideas are so grand, it's easier to do nothing. And I had to think about it. And then I called the person back and I said, if it wasn't me and you had said that to someone else who may not have as much tenacity as I do, you could have ruined that person's dream because maybe they wouldn't have gone after it.
100.
And we're all affected by that. So that power of what you say and what you do and how it affects other people. And so, you know, I agree with you, Jack. Yeah.
It must be like, you know, the whole reality base. Maybe Josie can probably speak on this. Like when you go on to a reality show, I mean, it's a different type of pressure than it's like when you're rehearsing something or when you're doing a movie. So, you know, because all eyes are on you and it's like instant, you know, attention right upon you. So yeah, that could stress anybody.
When you do a reality show, it's reality, right? Yes, it's scripted, but they get to get more parts of you than you would get as an actor.
Normally.
Well,
And they pit you
the
against
problem
each other.
The problem with that is that here you are showing up as yourself, and then you have armchair critics who are out there in the computer land. They're insulting you. They're judging you, they're shaming you, and they're not just shaming some character, they're shaming you as a human being. Oh God, you know, I have echoes still in my head about, oh my God, that girl has such an obnoxious laugh. You know, it took me
Your laugh is amazing!
It took me many years to let that go because I said, is that what you're coming after me for? Because my laugh is obnoxious?
Well,
don't, you know, and it's really sad though, like what you said, you know, I feel you on that. When someone says, oh, you have lofty dreams, I'm a visionary.
Yeah.
My dreams have always been too lofty. And if you don't, like you said, if you don't believe in yourself, the first person who has to believe is you in yourself.
Yeah.
And I wish that, like, you know, people like the Vivienne and all these other folks that we've lost, and that they understood how truly valuable their life is and how valuable their art is and how valuable their voice is and their contribution, because all of us are here because we have a gift. And whatever that gift is, however that gift is expressed, it's a part of how we continue to evolve as a human race.
it makes me think about that. You know, the first time I came out, I was younger, and I had an experience happen where it made me kind of close the door to who I was, and I suppressed myself as an adult for many, many, many years. And when it finally got to the point where I could not do that any longer, and I came out, it was like a volcano. But you know, it was because I had really. I wasn't ready to live my life. I was living the life of being a mom and taking care of my son, and that was my priority. And I wasn't a priority to myself in those ways. But once I finally was able to tune into that, that was it. There was no looking back. And you know, it takes standing up and saying something. You know, my mom. You know, what am I going to tell my friends? Well, you can stick your head in the sand, or you can, you know, you can deal with it. But because I was known, it was a challenge for her. And then came, you know, typical Jewish mom, and God rest her soul, you know, I miss her every day. You know, she said, well, what about your son? And I said, well, ask him. And she did. And my son said, Grandma, what about your friends? And my son said at 17, Grandma, if my friends have a problem, it's their problem. And then I knew that it was the right thing on every level. But to have that, to get to that place, it's very hard. Very hard.
It's not easy. Not easy at all. Mr. Vivienne, you will be missed. And that is a big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.